If there was one thing that I really want people to understand, this thing would be the fact that not everything in this world needs to be taken seriously, needs to be taken in a physical way, like we don't need to look at everything through the physical prism. Because I believe there are so many concepts and ideas in this world that are supposed to be taken symbolically. Like, yeah, they are just symbols, they are just like hidden messages. Like, for example, when you hear the word teleportation, you don't need to think about it as a real super ability from the superheroes movies, like when you can move like from one point to another really quick. Rather, when you think like how teleportation can be possible in our world, you don't look at this through the, again, physical prism, like you don't treat it as a real physical possibility, but you try to look a little bit deeper to understand that, for example, in a spiritual realm, in this spiritual reality, remember each person has two different realities that coexist together in our lives, then you understand that teleportation could be possible, but not in our physical world. In this spiritual reality, you can move from one point to another really fast, because our higher self, our higher consciousness, doesn't really belong to this 3D reality, to this physical world. Our higher self exists in higher dimensions where there are no limits of time and place. So this is why we can be, for example, in two different places in the same time, where in our mind, in our consciousness, we can move from one place to another really fast, but where not in the physical world, but in our mind, our higher self can move from one place to another. So guys, today we will explore one of these things that I think many people tend to look at through the physical prism. Like they try to, for example, describe or understand this idea from our human perspective, which is not wrong thing to do, but remember, my friends, here on this channel we are trying to understand or to find the new meaning for things that people believe are not possible, but we here, I mean, collective of people who know that we exist in two different worlds, in two different realities in the same time, that everything can be possible. Maybe not in this 3D world that we live in, because here we have limits. Here we are limited by the time and space. But, for example, our higher self, again, exists in higher dimensions. So there, everything is possible. And the thing that we are going to talk about today is time travel. The idea that you can go back in time or you can go forward to future. It's like when you can travel from one timeline to another. And let's be honest, there are so many people who don't believe that it's possible. Again, why? Because our society tends to see or to look at everything through this prism of the 3D world, like how this thing is possible in our 3D world. Of course, in our real world here on this planet, where we are limited, time travel is not possible when you think about it like moving your body, like your physical vessel. You cannot move it, okay? You cannot travel back in time in a physical way, or you cannot move to the future. You cannot travel to future using your physical vessel, using your body. But I'm here to tell you, my dear viewer, that time travel is a real thing. It is possible to travel back in time or to travel to future, but in a different reality. And what is even more interesting is that you can use time travel to transform your life. Like literally, I'm not here to tell you sweet lies. I'm telling you what I have experienced in my life. I used time travel to go back in time to transform my future. And guess what? It really worked. That's why I want to share with you how I understand time travel, why I believe this is a very real thing and this is something that is possible, of course, again, in a different reality, and how you can use it to transform your life. Because this is what we are doing on this channel. Welcome everyone to the House of Light and Darkness, a place, guys, for both me and you, where we explore our human and in the same time divine nature, and we are trying to understand who we really are, or rather who we were this whole time, because remember, you are a divine being, and also how can we transform our life by looking deep within ourselves, because trust me, this is a place where you can find all the answers, where you can find all the tools that you need to transform your life and to step into better future. And for those of you who are new here, who still don't know me, my name is Lisa, and I'm really glad to have you here, my friends. So yeah, let's start to talk about time travel. My dear viewers, I know that probably most people, like maybe you too, wish to have this ability to travel back in time or to travel forward in future to future in a physical way. Like you can sit in your room, close your eyes, and then you can move your body, you can move in time, and you can go back in time, for example. But unfortunately, as human beings, we stuck in our physical vessels, in our bodies, in this low dimension, okay, in the third dimension. And unfortunately, this dimension is limited. We have limitations of time and space. That's why you can forget about traveling in time in a physical way, like using your body. But I have good news for you. You can time travel in a different dimension, in a different world. Again, if you're new here, let me introduce to you one of the most important things that I believe in. The thing is that we are two types of being. We live in two different realities, and we have two lives. We have two worlds that we exist in. When it comes to two types of beings, my friend, you are a human being, okay? You have your body, you have your physical vessel, you have your life here on this planet. But then when it comes to the other type of being that you are, my friend, you are, or rather you, this whole time, you were a divine being, okay? You carry this divine essence, divine light within you. And as this divine being, you are limitless. Everything is possible for you. Nothing can really have a control over you when you know that you are a divine being. And as a divine being, you exist in this spiritual world. You have this spiritual reality that you, trust me, experience in your daily life. Even if you cannot see it, you cannot touch it, but I believe you can feel it. This is where the concept of intuition came from. This is also situations when you experience deja vu. Do you know such thing? This is when your higher self that exists in dimension where there is no limit of time and space, where there are no limitations, can be in two different timelines, in two or even more, like three different points of your life. So yeah, in this spiritual way, everything is possible for you. There are no limits, and everything that we people believe is not possible here in a physical world, again, like think about things like teleportation, time travel, I don't know, like what else, telepathy, and many other things that we usually only see like in fantasy, sci-fi, or superheroes movies and books. These things are possible in this different reality. Okay, and now a very important thing that I want you to understand. Guys, we are here to take our life and our existence seriously, okay? So I don't want you to go back in time in this spiritual way to have some fun, okay? Or to, like, you, of course, you can sit in your room and remind yourself like different funny situations from your past, but this is not how I want you to use time travel. I want you to use it as a very, very strong, powerful, and important tool to transform your life. Because you want to transform your life, don't you? Like, I want to see people transforming their life. I want to see people stepping into the better future. I want to see like our civilization stepping onto another level, of course, a higher level. But anyway, guys, let me tell you how I learned to time travel. Like, what was the moment when I realized that I have just traveled back in time? When I first started to experience this so-called awakening in my life, which is the process when you finally realize that you were living in Matrix this whole time, that you were living in illusions, and when you start to remind yourself who you really are and how powerful you actually are, I started to practice things that are usually associated with spirituality. For example, I never practiced yoga, and I'm not going to practice yoga, but I've been doing different like kind of meditations and journaling and like shadow work. And when it comes to the shadow work, there is such thing as like healing your past wounds. So healing yourself from all of these past situations that really hurt you. All of these past situations when you, for example, experienced heartbreaks, betrayals, being bullied, I don't know, losing someone important or something important. You know, at that time I understood that if I want to become the better version of me, I need to heal myself from all of these wounds. Trust me, I had many past wounds. Almost all of them were from my childhood or teenage years. And so I started to do some shadow work. Usually, I just, was trying to find some alone time, just me time, when there was, like, for example, no one in my house. And I was sitting alone in my room, of course, like putting some music and, closing my eyes. And, I was telling myself, like, okay, this is when I need to go back in time in my mind, okay, in this spiritual way. And so while I was sitting with my eyes closed, I'd been asking myself, like, okay, so what does it really mean to heal my past wounds? Probably it means that I need to go back in time, in my mind, to specific situations, to these situations where I experienced betrayal, being bullied, like being totally like alone, feeling like I don't have anyone to support me, to believe in me. And so I was a bit afraid, like, I think no one really wants to re-experience all of these past like painful situations, but I knew I need to do this. And I remember the first time when again with my eyes closed, but being alone in my room, I decided to travel back in time in my mind to a specific situation from my childhood. This was very unpleasant feeling. I don't even know how to describe it, because it's like when you are standing there in this specific situation, but you are not a participant in this situation, but rather you are like a third person observing the whole thing from the outside. So yeah, I remember I was just like looking at this situation where there was a child version of me, okay, and there were like these other people who were part of this situation, of this painful moment or experience in my life. But me, like my current self, was just like observing the whole situation. And my friends, the pivotal moment of me traveling back in time in my mind to a specific point in my childhood was when I was standing there, okay, again observing the whole thing as an outside person. Suddenly I felt like I want to go to my child version and comfort my child version in some way. So I remember it was like as if I walked to this child version of me, and I start telling myself like in that time that that's fine, like it's okay, if you want you can cry, like you can experience all kind of like this negative emotions like sadness or whatever this was, but it's not your fault. Yeah, I started telling my past version, this child version of me, that it's not your fault. Like, you couldn't do anything in this situation. You couldn't help yourself in that situation. So it's like I started telling myself that it's okay. Now you are experiencing this painful moment, but remember that it doesn't have to affect you in the future, because it's not your fault. Again, you couldn't do anything in this situation. You was like helpless. There were no people to protect you, to stand for you. So yeah, it was like me reminding myself that what happened to you just now doesn't have to be some kind of luggage, some kind of burden that you will carry then, like, with you to future. Then, guys, I opened my eyes and I realized that I've been sitting in my room crying. Like, literally, I started to cry because I have just experienced traveling back in time to fix something in the past so that now I can heal this wound. And my friends, guess what happened? After some time, after this meditation, like when I traveled back in time in my mind, I started to realize, like recognizing that this moment, this deep wound that this whole time I've been carrying inside myself from this specific past situation suddenly stopped to affect me. Like, suddenly I felt that I don't feel this burden anymore. Like, I don't feel this complex that was a result of this past trauma. This was the moment when I was like literally shocked, because it was like, oh my god, I traveled back in time, okay, in this spiritual reality, in this spiritual realm where you can go to any moment in your lifetime, to any moment from your past, and I did something there, and I changed something in my current situation. Like, literally, I fixed something in my past and I changed my current self in some way. And that was also a moment when I understood that I fell in love with this shadow work. I fell in love with using time travel, of course, again, in my mind, in this spiritual reality, to transform myself. Until this moment, guys, I'm in love with transforming myself. I'm in love with stepping into another higher level. I'm in love with healing myself from any kind of shit that I've been carrying this whole time inside me. I'm in love with becoming better version of me, like, every single day. So yeah, this experience that I've just described, guys, is just an example. But if you want to practice it, if you want to try it, this will be the most, I would say, unique experience that you probably ever had in your life. It will be a difficult experience because, again, you will need to re-watch, re-experience some painful moment. But then, trust me, it will be one of the most important things that you can do for yourself to transform your current self, like who you are right now. So yeah, this is an example of how you can go back in time and do something there to change your current self or to change your future self. It's like the more wounds and the more problems and things you fix in your past, the more unstoppable, the more powerful your future self will be. So you see how it all connected. Like, you do something in the present time, okay? You are practicing this shadow work, you are practicing sitting alone in your room, or like being wherever you want, alone, just you and your higher self. When you are going back in time and you are doing something there, and then you are transforming your future situation, you are transforming your future self. Isn't it the beautiful thing? I mean, like, when you understand that in this spiritual reality, in this spiritual way, you are not limited by time and space. You can do whatever you want with your timeline. You can go back in time, you can sit in your present time, you can go to the future, and you can, let's say, manipulate yourself, like who you are in this 3D world, by doing some kind of work in this higher dimension. Like your higher self is doing some kind of work behind the scenes, so that here on the scene, you as the main character can become fucking powerful, strong, confident, brave, unstoppable, unshakable. So yeah, this is co-working. You are working together with your higher self. When you are integrating these two different realities that you have, you are integrating your physical reality with your spiritual reality, and you are doing something in the spiritual world that can affect you in this physical world. So again, my friends, when there are people who honestly believe that there are things you can do just in this physical world that can transform your life, like you can do some gym sessions, you can practice yoga, journaling, you can I don't know, like start eating healthier, you can work on your discipline, you can, I don't know, like move to the new place, and these things will help you to transform your life. I don't really understand it, like how you can believe that you as a limited being here in this 3D world can do something that can change your life for the better. I mean, it can change your life for the better, but it won't help you to transform your life in a way when you feel like you are in a totally different paradigm. You can only get this feeling, you can only change your paradigms, change your timeline when you are working in both of these realities that you have. When you are using all of these spiritual tools to work on yourself, again, to look deep within yourself, clean all of this dirt, or just like heal all of these wounds inside yourself, this is when you are really changing yourself. This is when you are transforming yourself and your life. So yeah, people, I invite you to practice it. I invite you to give it a try. I mean, to like using time travel as a very important tool to transform your life, because it helped me to change my life, to step into totally different era of my life, and I believe it will help you to do the same. Hey guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for being here, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.